Hi, my name is Monica. This is going to be my 5th year teaching, and I would love to share with you some first year teacher tips, some back to school tips that I wish I would have learned and I have learned along the way. So I would love to share them with you. I'm going to be looking at my notes on my computer, so bear with me. First and foremost, start with day one with discipline, with your behavior management plan. I know a lot of teachers have heard the saying, don't smile until October. Now, I don't necessarily believe in that, but the concept of, making sure that you have your discipline routine, your behavior management system in place. And when I think of behavior management, I think of both positive and negative. So how do you reward the positive? How do you correct the negative, and so that you can ensure that you have a very smooth school year? So whether that be you use a color, you move clips down with the color system, red, green, and yellow, class dojo, whatever the case may be, start from day one. And I typically do not give negative consequences on the first day of school, but I will narrate what would happen. So for example, if someone is talking out of turn, calling out, I might say, oh, okay, scholars, remember we talked about rule number 3 was no talking when someone else is talking, showing respect. So on a normal day, that would be a color change, that would be a point deduction, whatever the case may be. But because it's the first day of school and we're all still learning, let's continue to try to make the best choices we can make. So really narrating what would be and what is going to be a typical day, but at the same time maybe giving that little bit of learning time in order to for the kids to be able to make mistakes, because everyone is, we're coming back from a summer vacation. It's not going to be perfect, but they should know day one what to expect, what the consequence will be, and so that in the future it takes that personal victim out of it, and these are the rules, she's going to hold me to them, and it is what it is. So start day one with behavior management. The second thing is also start day one with systems and routines. How they come in the morning. Do they need to move their name to say that they're here for the day? Where do they need to put their book bags? Is morning work silent? Whatever the case may be, start from day one. That is going to set you up for success for the rest of the school year, and consistently maintain that for the month of August and beyond, but really going hard the month of August. It is going to make the rest of your year so much smoother in every way, shape, and form. And then when you are not there, when there's a sub or whatever the case may be, it will still run like you would be because you have set those in place. Use your planning time. This is one that I have continued to struggle with, but I really need to be better at it. I'm going to make a resolution this year to do so. So when you do get that planning time, it's very easy for you to want to take a breather and sit down and relax for a second, which you should. But I am one of those people that stays after school until all hours of the night. So I'm not a morning person. I'll get there right on time in the morning, but I will easily stay after school and, get the copies done because no one's there or whatever the case may be. But I really this year want to set my goal to using my planning time. So setting one goal for your planning time, 1 or 2 small goals that can get accomplished in that 45-minute, whatever the case may be, 30-minute, 45-minute planning time while the students are at specials, and get them checked off. It's nothing better than the feeling of getting something checked off your to-do list. And so even if it's something super small like making a copy or sending an email, put it on your to-do list and get it done. And don't feel I can wait until after school to get it done. That's how I ended up staying all hours of the night last year, was because I had that mentality and I wanted to be able to take a deep breath, clean the classroom, things like that, which are important. But I feel like there are some things that I could do so much better as far as time management and using my time, and not feeling like, I have after school, that safety net. Pretend like you don't have after school. What would you get done in this time that will set you up for success if you had to leave today? So right after school. So use your time wisely. The custodians, the secretaries, the bookkeepers, the specials area teachers, art, music, PE, get to know those teachers, build a relationship with them. I read somewhere that those are the real leaders of the school, and I strongly believe that, your custodian is going to be the person that comes and responds to someone throwing up. They're going to be the person that when you have an ant problem, whatever the case may be. So you need to make sure that you have a relationship with them. Your secretary is the person, in my school, was the person that answered the phone when I was late, so I had to call and say, hey, I'm running a bit late. And oh my God, my secretary is amazing. She is just so sweet, a breath of fresh air, and her always response is like, okay, well, make sure you get here safely. And she really genuinely means that. So there's nothing better than having a positive relationship with the people that really run the school behind the scenes, and don't assume that, oh, they're just the custodian, oh, they're the secretary. No. They are the leaders of the school, and they are the ones that make it run. And those are the ones that can make your life a lot easier if you get to know them and build that relationship with them. And then special teachers, another thing, you know, like they are a lot of times more than happy to help out in some way, shape, or form, whether that be, oh, in art, you know, we're learning about colonial America, you know, maybe talking to the art teacher about something that you would love for them to do an art project with and kind of collaborating with them. So use them wisely and make sure that you are, you know, treating them as equals, because sometimes that, you know, we tend to have that, oh, well, all they do is teach PE all day. No, they are teaching all day. So keep that in mind. Find a mentor. That is so important, to find a veteran teacher, someone who, you know, maybe is in the position that you eventually want to get to, and get up under them. Have them mentor you, have them guide you along the way. Find someone that you can be able to come to how did this work for you? Have you found something that maybe works more efficiently than what I'm doing? Whatever the case may be, find one and utilize them. I feel like a lot of times we as new teachers want to try to do it, you know, want to try to survive and not ask too many questions and not be annoying, and don't have that mentality. We all have been in the first year teacher position, and we all would have loved to have someone who was amazing. Maybe some of us did, but at the same time, don't feel the, oh, I don't want to bother, or I want to try to, you know, be superwoman, superman, and do it myself. Ask for help. Find a trusted friend. Find someone that you can be able to have more than a professional relationship with, that you can talk to, vent to on a bad day, and you know that it's not going to get back to anyone else. You know, you need to find someone who you can be able to just say that you're having a bad day, who maybe can bring you a Snickers every once in a while. Find someone who you also can consider, if nothing more than a work friend, but a friend nonetheless, and not just a professional relationship, but someone who you can be able to let your guard down a little bit and be, you know, close the door and cry to if you need to, whatever the case may be. Find that person. They're going to be instrumental in your year. Protect your time. This is so key to a work-life balance. Protect your time. So we know that we only have 2 days a week that we're off. Use it. Do not sit there and do work all Saturday and Sunday. Use your time. Cut out, you know, if you need to, if you're, you know, and we know August is that month where a lot of stuff needs to get done and it's the busiest time of the school year, but cut out, you know, 2 hours in your Saturday that you're going to do some work on the computer from home. But then after that, like, spend time with your family, with your pets, with your friends, with yourself. You know, go to the movies, go to the mall, whatever the case may be. But don't just have it where it's endless work time. We all have been there. We all have done that. But use your time and protect it, and make sure that you refill your cup so that you can pour into others. Set non-negotiables for your daily routine. This is one thing that I have gotten to the point where it's like, okay, before I leave, this has to get done. Even if nothing else gets done, my non-negotiables are changing the date, putting morning work out, and really just making sure that the room is decent, halfway decent. It doesn't have to be perfect, but halfway decent. Those things make my morning so much smoother. So even if I'm running a couple minutes late, the morning work's already on their desk. So if someone needs to cover my room, they could be able to come in, and they don't have to fish around for something to do. Their morning work's on their desk or on the board. So that's one thing that no matter what, before I leave, this is going to get done, because it makes for so much easier. In the morning, it gives you that couple extra minutes if you know, something happened where you need to make an extra copy really quickly, whatever the case may be. Set those non-negotiables, 2 or 3 things that have to get done before you leave, and make sure that those get done. And if nothing else, everything else is a sham, it's in shambles, oh well, I got these done, so at least tomorrow's going to be halfway decent. Use the student jobs. Give the students jobs. That was one thing that I did not do as well this year, and I really want to do better next year, is that use the students. It's like, you want to make sure the students are using their full instructional time, which of course that's the key to everyone wants to do that. But at the same time, you don't have to, you know, that once again, I had the mentality, I just do it after school, I just get it done. You know, use your student of the month. Use your student that you know is super strong in math during math time. If you need to have them run something to the office or whatever the case may be, use them. You know, line leaders, people to clean your classroom library, organize your classroom library, cleaning different things. I had 2 girls that were awesome this year, who every afternoon would make sure that my carpet was spread out nice and neat, my pillows were fluffed up. I mean, just little things that makes all the difference. So use your students. Have student jobs. They want to do it. They crave, you know, having some responsibility, and it's going to make it easier on you. Use your teammates. Use a lot of people. Use your time. Use people. Use them, because we feel like we want to take everything on and do it ourselves. We cannot have the mentality. You will never make it. You will burn out. It just is what it is. Teaching is really a community job. It really, really is. So use them. Use your teammates. If you're having a behaviorally challenged student and they need to have just a little break from the classroom, send them to another classroom instead of going all the way to the, you know, vice principal's office or whatever the case may be. send them next door, send them with a sticky note. Hey, can they just stay here for 5-10 minutes just for 2 seconds? You know, use them, utilize them. You know, try to find, maybe if it's a male student, maybe there's a male, someone in your school that can help kind of mentor that child, or someone who they just bond with, a teacher from last year, whatever the case may be. Use your teammates. And then also collaborate with your teammates. If someone's stronger at social studies, hell, what are you doing this week? You know, use them. And ideally, you know, you would be doing that anyways, but if you're not, use your teammates. Snacks really make things better. I had a closet full of chips and bottled water at all times. It made those rough days so much better. Document everything. Emails, conferences with parents. Document everything. That is going to be a saving grace for so many different things. Obviously data with the students, but also like just interactions with, you know, other teachers and things like that. Document everything. Just it's a safety precaution. Document everything. Over communicate with parents. Over communicate. You should feel like you are super annoying in the amount of communications that you send out. I would rather you over communicate than under, because then there's gray areas. There's room for I didn't know. You know, when you over communicate as much as possible. Send newsletters, send notes home, Class Dojo, everything that you can, whatever you can, use it. And that will really just save time, and that will, a lot of parents find that so super helpful. And you know, whether that be a class website, whatever you use, overuse it. It will help in the end. Label everything. I can't tell you how many scissors went missing this year, how many pens, pencils, you know, things that of course were for the students to use, but I wanted my scissors back. Books, just label everything. Get a Sharpie, label everything down to erasers, tiny pink erasers, everything, label it. It will come up missing, but it's less likely to come up missing if your name is on it. And then like things that other teachers borrow, your tape dispenser, things like your stapler, things just go missing, and it's like, label it. And last but not least, speak up. Really advocate for yourself. You are your biggest advocate. You are your student's biggest advocate. Don't be afraid to speak up. If it's something that you really want and you need, speak up. If it's something that you do not like, you do not want, speak up. Speak up for yourself. You are your advocate for yourself. You are your student's advocate. So don't be afraid to say things that may run against the grain. Maybe whatever the case may be. Speak up, and don't be afraid to do that, because your students depend on it and you depend on it. So make sure you do so. Hopefully this was helpful. These were things that I wish I would have known along the way, and I'm continuing to learn as we go along. So hopefully this was helpful. Good luck if this is your first year. Good luck if it's year 10, whatever the case may be. We know this is the beginning of the school year, and it's always the hardest, but nonetheless, it's going to be awesome. Cannot wait to hear about all of your amazing school years. And so good luck and have an awesome year.